Welcome back. The bench is graced by Bob Njagi and Nick Oyo, who are held in Uganda. They are now back home, and our story continues in this tell-all session on the bench with the two Kenyans. Bob and Nick, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Bob,
yes,
our Foreign Affairs CS Musalia Mudavadi has said we need to be cautious of what we do beyond our borders. That instances where the state cannot take responsibility for what may happen to you or others. What do you think of that?
I think that's a very irresponsible remark, in that he should assure Kenyans of their safety and security in whichever country we travel to, as long as we conform with the laws of that country. We had not broken any law, and I wonder why the government of Kenya has not yet pointed that fact out, that despite them, the Ugandan government holding us and the president agreeing to having us in custody, was that due process? Can they assure other Kenyans that if you go to Uganda, you are safe? Because we were not charged in any court of law. He could have said so if there was a case in point where we have broken a particular law. He's very right to say that we should be careful, okay? But on this case, I think as a CS, he's just playing diplomacy. Yeah.
You know, Ayub, if you follow the law in all these things, you'd find that there could not be a problem. The law is usually designed to ensure that there is predictability of what you do. And for us as human rights activists, we actually look at the law before we do some of these things. We didn't expect, in fact, for us, it was just a journey into Uganda and back home. We didn't expect this entire fiasco.
Okay. And Bob, you have done the complete East African tour. Blocked from Tanzania, held in Kenya illegally as well, and now Uganda. Has your experience in Uganda, both of you, broken your spirits?
No, actually it has emboldened us in the fact that we know we now have to fight injustice, not just in Kenya, but in the whole region. Because if we have an East African community, it is based on the pillars of economic pillar, where we do trade with each other, a political pillar, where we shall have one federal union as East Africa. So how can we have this union when you cannot exercise freedom of association with like-minded political parties? I think that is not a crime. So even as we now are going towards the next elections in Uganda, I would wish that Kenyans to actually participate fully by either supporting one side or the other, which is a democratic right. All right, we cannot have a federal union that is devoid of us putting a check on rogue governments. All right, the human rights again cuts across all these countries. It's an international. There are international laws that cannot be violated. The freedom from torture. Okay, freedom from servitude, all right? These are freedoms that are inalienable rights, even within the Ugandan constitution. And therefore, if they violate these rights, whether in Uganda or in Kenya, we have to stand up for those rights. Otherwise, it will happen in Uganda that way, then tomorrow, Ayub, you'll be taken from your house. That's what's happening to journalists in Tanzania, like yourself. They are picked up and they're not being seen again for months. Would you like that to happen in Kenya? So some of us have to stick our necks out and say, enough is enough. And we are ready to come out again in protest on the 9th of December. And I hope our government can do some due diligence and engage diplomatically to avert such kind of protest in advance by doing what is right. We are demanding for the release of political prisoners in Uganda and Tanzania. Those that have been arrested during these recent times. You've seen the Tanzanian opposition leader had been in prison, same as Kiza Besigye. Why are we condoning such kind of acts within the region? And so we shall be mobilizing East Africans to work together as a people in the Jumuiya to fight for the independence of this Jumuiya.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 9th of December. So correct. That means you are again going to Tanzania?
No, we shall mobilize in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Uganda on the same day.
Concurrently?
Correct.
But you will be in Kenya?
I'm not sure. We'll see.
So Ayub, for us, our spirits. I believe that some of these things make you stronger if they don't break you. And for me, some of the things we've been doing, it means that we are pushing the right buttons. If you find that this is what is happening, how can two people, activists, cause a lot of panic in Uganda? It doesn't make sense. That means that there is something that we are pushing and doing very right. And so we are going to continue what we are doing. We are collecting 1 million signatures. You remember the referendum that we've been doing. Now I think it's time to push it to the next level. We are going to collect 1 million signatures. Of course, you've seen we've been in court. We've been doing petitions. We are supporting independent candidates. We are asking Kenyans out there, for this time in these by-elections, vote for an independent. We are saying that that is the first thing that you use to ensure that this country moves to the next level. And for those who want to support us, Ayub, our pay bill is there, 663-670. You can write your name, and you can also donate whatever you have, even starting from 10 shillings, you can donate. Yeah. So we are saying this is a fight for Kenyans, and we have to make it work, and a fight for East Africa, and a fight for Africa.
Yeah, and before we go to the feedback, Bob,
yes,
what is the ultimate objective?
The objective is change, revolutionary change. You have seen we have been for 60 years living as a third world country. Why? It's because of the practices that we are undertaking, the same leadership crisis we are saying across Africa. So the ultimate objective is to have a revolution that is going to usher in a new crop of leaders in East Africa, leaders who can be able to articulate the interests of the people first. We have seen that countries that are taking that kind of turnaround, Botswana, look at the economy of Botswana today. They have changed so far. Look at Namibia, what is happening in Namibia. In Burkina Faso, I started by talking about Ibrahim Traore. We have the capacity to come up with solutions for the economy that will turn around this country, create jobs for young people, and emancipate us from the kind of poverty that you are witnessing today. This is not rocket science. We have developed plans within the movement of very specific policies that can address many of the challenges we are dealing with in this country today. Yeah. So the ultimate game is to form, we have what we're calling the people power movement that will bring together like-minded organizations together to push for power, for a quest for power in 2027. And that's the direction we are going. And we are asking all Kenyans to support this movement so that we can liberate us from state capture.
Okay, so I'll give you the final words. Let's sample the feedback and see what Kenyans are saying, gentlemen. It's the first coming from Malmasi Jr., who says the recent political happenings in Uganda and Tanzania have yet again exposed the inside out of the sorry state of the East African community. What its obligation as far as the rule of law is concerned. Nyantika Chester says the events unfolding in East Africa are very awful, including killings, perennial electoral fraud, heavy-handedness on dissenting voices, muzzling and shutdown of media/internet, etc. But the black colonialists should know that they cannot cage the masses forever. Iposiku, I say. Tim Keegan says Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo are clearly being dishonest about what took them to Uganda. Museveni may have been right. These fellows were up to mischief. Do you agree with Keegan?
Not really.
Keegan should come and sit with us down, and he will realize those things are just created.
Yeah.
But specifying further before because we went on a break. So you never met the business partner who you were to meet in Kampala?
I was arrested before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you got back home, did he get in touch with you? Was he in Uganda at the time?
He was in Uganda. When I called him the day before I was arrested, and he asked me to call him the following day at 10 to agree on where to meet. But before 10, I was already been abducted. So I never got a chance to meet with him.
Yeah.
And I came straight from captivity to Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes. So we lost out on those business opportunities. But I must say I've also met some other good businessmen in the prison, whom I hope we shall do some business when they're out.
And at what point did you don the red berets?
During the rallies.
The campaigns.
The campaigns, yes.
And those were ours.
But these were ours, not for Uganda. They have similar ones with their... Yeah, so we had our berets during the campaigns.
So you left Kenya while you had them?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
John from Eldoret says, why can these busybody activists go to South Sudan and Rwanda where real human rights violations is going on?
There are human rights violations in Kenya, so we deal with those. And for Uganda, we didn't go there to fight any issues. We went there on comradeship and solidarity.
We have over 1,000 young people dying during the Gen Z protests. We are still fighting for their justice, and we have gone to court. We have initiated cases. So we are also doing a lot of activism right here at home, but that doesn't stop us from visiting any part of the world, not just Uganda.
So according to data provided by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the number is not 1,000 of Kenyans who are lost, to be factually correct.
Yeah, I agree with you. Those are numbers that came. That's numbers that came NHCR. But for some of us who are participating in the protest, we had different numbers. I mean, in Kitengela alone, they had people who had been claiming that they were accident victims. Yet these young men were shot by the police. So the numbers that are recorded even at KNHCR is government numbers. But the real truth and fact is much more numbers, much more people died during the protest than is being recorded. Even in Tanzania today, we are hearing of death count of over 20,000 bodies as we speak in Tanzania. Many Kenyans. And what is being reported officially is only what government wants the people to hear. Most of the media people are being curtailed. Information is being, propaganda is being passed by the government. All right, what you're hearing here is propaganda from the Tanzanian government. The real information is coming from the refugees who are now crossing into Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
Although we cannot again independently authenticate or verify that number.
Correct.
Mohammed in Nairobi County says, please ask the gentlemen you are interviewing, are they politicians or businessmen?
Somebody can wear both hats. You can even be a pastor, politician, businessman. Yeah, I'm father. Yeah. I mean, what is... is it that you can be a businessman and not a politician?
I would like to respond to him.
Yes,
I'm an entrepreneur by my work profession. I earn a living through business, but I'm also a human rights activist, a leader, all right, a political leader, and we can multitask. You don't have to be an activist, you're only an activist. You can be a media personality who is an activist. You can be a doctor who is an activist. There's nothing wrong with that. We are just fighting for good governance from our different spaces.
Okay. Next is from Mushela, Nakuru County. In as much as we do not support what the Ugandan authorities did, we would still want to know what exactly were Oyo and Jagi doing in Uganda. What was their business in Uganda? Explained. Next up is Yatianin says, Bob was quoted today saying they will declare a total shutdown in Kenya and shut down our borders on the 9th of December in solidarity with Tanzanians. Isn't it selfish itself to hold hardworking Kenyans ransom because of commercial activism?
I think it's a critic, at the same time it's a question. First and foremost, we're not commercial activists. We're not funded by anyone to participate in any kind of activism. We get our support from ordinary citizens. Number two, calling for a protest is well within the rights, Article 37, as long as they are peaceful demonstrations. That's what we call for, not armed or chaotic demonstrations. And we notify the police in 3 days in advance, as per the Constitution of Kenya. So we do everything within the law, as it has been found to be true. I have been arrested twice during the protest in Kitengela. Both of these times I've been beaten up and taken to court. And the court has dismissed all those cases, you know, saying that it is well within our rights. So I would want to tell whoever has commented that even this new constitution, that we're enjoying the freedom of speech, came as a result of people agitating on the streets. So we cannot underemphasize the importance of that. Thank you.
Okay. Jethro says, hello, Abdikadir. Ask them what happened to their car.
The car is coming. It's still in Uganda. We are going to sort out to bring it back. We are going to talk to our ambassador to do those things, yeah.
You drove from here?
Yeah.
So it was your car?
Yeah, we drove from here. It was our car. And now it is there in Uganda, but it will come.
Kenyan registration number plate?
Yeah.
Next is from Okelo Mwalimu, who says, even as I register my commiserations to Njagi and Oyo on their painful ordeals, I'm keen to get their insights on what should be done to slam the brakes on human rights violations in East Africa. Secondly, given another opportunity, would they engage in similar activities? Bob?
Yes, given another opportunity to go to Uganda, of course I would like to go and visit Uganda for business purposes, for social purposes, and even for political reasons if need be, but within the constitution of Uganda. That doesn't mean that we stop associating and integrating. We have an East African community to build, and even those in government in Uganda probably could learn a lot from us Kenyans. We mean well for them. We don't want to destroy our neighbor's country. We wish to have a prosperous Uganda, a prosperous Kenya, a prosperous East Africa, and that's why we are agitating for reforms. Uganda is in need of constitutional reforms, as you ask me. The kind of constitution they have does not give their people the kind of rights that we enjoy in Kenya. The Tanzania, the same, all right? So we can share a lot within East Africa, including the kind of reforms that are needed.
We did not break any laws. We did not violate any laws. As you see, it took 38 days and we still came back here. And when we crossed the border and asked the Kenyan authorities, are you arresting us and for what reason? They said, no, you cannot be arrested. There's nothing that you have broken. It's just somebody maybe felt that you are a threat to them, and that's probably, and we don't understand the threat.
Were there any conditions for your release, for example?
We were not given any conditions.
Well, we were advised not to speak and talk about what we have seen. For instance, the head of the counterintelligence who is doing all this operation is a man called Eli. The man who is abducting people in charge of surveillance is called Sergeant Tukakira. These are names that if you check on the website, you'll find these people. And we wish to inform even Ugandans who is doing the abductions in Uganda. Yeah, so we will not stop talking because we were threatened. We have to inform the public what Museveni means by the fridge, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabi says, ask Bob and Nick to inform us who is sponsoring their tickets, transport, and other activism related, or inform us their net worth. And lastly, these people look healthy. Were they eating the food from the fridge?
You know, the last 2 weeks, I think they were basically taking us to maybe leave us outside. So it was like, now you're being prepared to go out. Of course, we didn't know that because the first time that we were in Kasenyi, it was a different matter. I wish somebody would have gotten my picture, but we didn't have phones there. So it's really something that we get our resources from Kenyans. I think we have shared our pay bill, and you can share it again, 663-670. That is what supports us. We've gone to court severally. People have donated to us, and anybody can find out. Our bank is in this country, and people can look at that bank.
Okay. Philip says, we want Bob and Oyo to tell Kenyans why they are being abducted each and every time.
Yeah, it's because of the things that we do as a movement, as a Free Kenya movement. We touch on very sensitive issues. For instance, we petition against bad laws. When the IBC Act came into place, we were first in court to petition against the IBC Act. When we have these, the former IBC for Chebukati, they came up with laws that would restrict people from participating in the elections. We challenged and won these cases. We have a referendum that we are collecting 1 million signatures to change and to empower Article 1, the power to represent yourself directly through the people's governments. These are things that are a threat to some of the powers that be. We are now fronting a people power movement as an alternative leadership, and this is also another threat, the Gen Z movement. And probably all these reasons combined would point them to the direction that this movement is posing a threat to the establishment.
Okay.
Hence the reason why they keep abducting us.
Atinda Ken 1 says, I'm wondering where the world is headed, and the worst part is Africa, where leaders treat leadership positions as their birthright, believing they will hold office for life, and have decided to oppress people at will. So this is an observation. Next is Engineer Lazaro, who says, Foreign Affairs dockets recorded the worst performance in Kenya's history under Mudavadi, our sovereignty being violated by our tiny landlocked neighbors, as if we are still under their colony. Next up is Mukhtar Khalif from Wajir County. He says, in these contemporary times, as you are aware, every country enjoys its own sovereignty, and that it's wrong for foreign nationals to meddle with affairs of other countries, even if you are human rights organization members, and that Uganda is a member of the East African community. Saidi Muridi says, my question is simple. Uganda being a sovereign nation, is it right for Kenyan activists, he means, taking part in their country's affairs? 1. 2, who is wrong, activists or the Ugandan government? 3, to me they are the problem. Every country has its own rules and regulations. Tukome udaku na inchi za wenyewe. Saidi Muridhi asking from Kenya. Question number 1. Is it right for Kenyan activists taking part in the affairs of another country?
Correct.
Would you be okay if Bobby Wine would have done the same here?
It'll be okay.
They actually do it every other time. We have visitors from outside the country coming to show support to a particular side in Kenya. I remember when I was in ODM, the former president, rest in peace, John Pombe Magufuli, came for a national delegates conference meeting at Kasarani to show support to the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. He was not abducted. We've had I see leaders like others doing handshakes in their offices with opposition leaders here and government leaders. I don't think we should be fearful, because we are not voters at the end of the day. I don't have a vote in Uganda, but I can influence somebody in Uganda to make the right choices. I think that is a democratic right that should not be taken away from us. If we offended any laws in Uganda, we were ready to say that we are sorry. But up until now, even those who are commenting saying that we are interfering with the affairs of another country, we have not been charged with interfering with the affairs of another country. If there was any charge such as that, I'm sure we'd be in court right now in Uganda.
And you heard what Senator Cherargei said?
Yes, and I think it's unfortunate. This is a person that we would have hoped that would be respected. But that kind of statement is very careless. I'm wondering why he has not been summoned, because those are things that create problems. Those are the things we actually go against, we fight. Because you cannot be irresponsible in leadership, Ayub. There are some things that you must be able to hold your tongue.
Okay. Next is Nixon, who says, Poleni sana Bob and Nick, what exactly was your mission in Uganda? And assuming you did not accomplish it, what's next? So this was responded. You never accomplished that, okay. And you spoke about what next. It's very shameful and disheartening to see how some East African leaders mistreat those who are trying to enlighten the people, and as if the leadership they hold will follow them to their graves. Truly sad, says Atinda. Orut Wasam says, I think this Njagi and Oyo's abduction reminds me that the way we vote today shall determine our political and social economic future on how we live. So it needs us to put better measures for transparency by our leaders. Some of the many of the feedback sent to us by the public. Your final words, first starting with you, Nick, and lessons you want to share.
I think it tells us that there's a lot to be done. It also tells us that we are hitting the right buttons, because if somebody can be worried about us, two people, going for it's not even an event that it would have been. If this matter had been handled the way I think it should have been handled, maybe in 5 days we would have been returned and been deported here, and nobody would have made all this noise. So for me, I feel that it's taking us forward, and we ask Kenyans to continue supporting us, and we are going to work together and see where we can take this country forward and East Africa forward.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, first is to thank all Kenyans again for really supporting us. Again, to reiterate that we are moving towards organizing a political movement under the People Power movement. We call on Kenyans to look at this movement as an alternative leadership and governance movement that is ready to take over this country. Again, we need the support of the people. I would request the public to support us in any way towards our activities through the M-Pesa pay bill number 663-670. The account number is your name. We're also looking for 1 million signatures on our website, www.freekenya.co.ke. You can sign your signature online, and within a month we have 1 million signatures. We're also looking for conveners and people we can partner with from the religious organizations, the civil society, the social justice movements. We are working with political parties that are like-minded, and we believe that this is Kenya's moment. We cannot sit back comfortably in our houses when the countries have been run down. I want to thank the media, especially the news gang, Linus Kaikai, Yvonne Okwara, and the team.
Sam,
yeah.
Joseph Bonyo.
Yes, yes.
And Jamila Mohammed.
And Jamila Mohammed,
And Gatete has been very passionate.
Gatete has been on the front line of this story. So Citizen, Royal Media TV, my hats off for standing in solidarity. Not only with us, but even in the issue of Tanzania, we are following what the media is projecting. So without the Fourth Estate and the role they have played, they have been at the forefront of helping our voices to be heard. So thank you very much, I would like to say.
Asante. And do you think Bobby Wine will win the elections?
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's not about who, it's about who counts the votes. And we know he's going to win, but the person who counts the votes is another story. What we are hoping for is that they can organize themselves to protect the vote. Because the vote will be there, but they have to protect the vote. And there are strategies which are deployed to protect these votes. Hopefully they're going to be able to do that. But we were given a very clear indication by the military on our release. Yeah. And they said that we shall not allow a civilian to lead Uganda. That was a quote from one of the army officers.
A chilling quote. Yeah.
That was the part of what they told you. Yeah. Okay. This is from Dr. Duncan Ojwang. Bob, this is to you.
Dr. Duncan Ojwang?
Ojwang, yeah.
I know him,
yes. He says, expressions accepted far apart from Kenya, but have Bob and Nick studied political rights and picketing and what the Ugandan law says about it?
But did we picket in Uganda? No.
We did not picket in Uganda. That's why people confuse that what we went to do. We just went in solidarity with a comrade. Ayub, you can invite me if you are Ugandan. Yeah. I come to your place and on solidarity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. And glad that you guys are keeping well. Many thanks. Many thanks for your time and coming on the bench to give us your insight. Asante sana.
People power.
Higher power.
People power.
Higher power.
Higher power.
People power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Thank you.
And that's why the Royal Media Services is the best in business. And without a free press, then democracy will die in darkness. We're experts in the trade, of course, led by our very able editorial director of the Royal Media Services, Linus Kaikai, as alluded to by Bob and company, who have been following that after their release, of course, and across the border, giving you the breakdown of what's happening in Tanzania, in Uganda, and here in the country, because we bear that duty as the sovereign bank of all power, which belongs to you, the people of Kenya. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast. Njoki Shege has been our sign language interpreter, and you are always valued. Good night, and God bless our great country.